Welcome to the Kyoto Ring. Let's get to know the track. It has 3 turns and 1 bend, shown in this picture here with the red, along with 1, 2, 3, and 4 lanes. Here we are just passing the bend and the finish line and heading into turn 1. And here is turn 2. And the final turn, number 3. Here's the pit entrance and back to the bend. Now let's start with 2-car drafting. On this server, oval racing is all about drafting with 1 or more cars in order to achieve a faster speed. Drafting means to stay behind another car so as to take advantage of the reduced air pressure created by the leading racer. You will use the turns for the passing and the straightaways for the speed. That is when you get in a slipstream, as shown here in the 4th lane. As he goes down into the 1st lane to pass, the car he just passed gets back in his slipstream and repeats in the straightaway. Let's have a look at that from the Fragmaster chopper. We do ask that beginners turn on the green line by pressing 4 on your keyboard. The hardest part of drafting is the timing, and turn 3 shown here is the hardest to time, because the person in the rear needs to wait, maybe even lift off if he has to, in order to pass after the bend, as is just shown here, right before turn 1. It's also necessary to make small, smooth adjustments with the wheel to give a good line for your partner behind you. Now let's take a look at 3-car drafting. It is essentially the same. You still need to gain your speed in the 4th lane as to pass on the turns on the inside lane, except now there are 3 cars. You will need to learn what failure calls dynamic timing. Since you are going a little faster than you were with 2 cars, you need to stay a little closer to each of your drafting partners, but not too close. This means sometimes you will have to lift off so you don't run into the guy in front of you if there's somebody in front of him. With the camera being fixed on the middle car, you can see that he will always stay in the middle or in the middle lane. As you 3 line up in a straight, the first car will always stay furthest to the right, middle car will stay in the middle, the last car will always come down to the inside lane and take over in the first spot as the second car passes the car that was in first. Let's have a look at that from the Fragmaster chopper. We ask that you be a respectable driver and please watch your language and press Shift S or Shift P after a crash. That way people behind you can still race. Okay, let's look at 4-car drafting. Don't try this at home, people. Oh well, I guess you have to if you can't do it at work. It's a little bit faster than 3-car, but still the same. The car in front needs to stay to the far right lane. The car in the rear needs to work to the inside lane to pass around the turns. Let's have a look at that from the Fragmaster chopper. If you are drafting one or more cars and you do not have enough speed to get around the corner first, slow down and let the person in front of you go first and swing out to the right as you just saw there.
Gentlemen, start your engines.